Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. So it's been a while since I've reacted to a list of worst songs. I'm not even sure if I've ever done it before, but I found this. It's on the Vinyl District website, and it was posted in October of 2022 by Michael H. Little. And I did see just the start of the songs, and it was like, I like that song. So I thought I would go through the list and get really angry. So here we go. I'm scared. I'll do a few at a time here. Okay. Todd Rundgren, Bang the Drum All Day. A little annoying, but I wouldn't consider it one of the worst songs of all time. Rock the Casbah. I never used to... There was a point, I think, when it was really overplayed on the radio and I got to kind of dislike it. But it's not a bad song. The Killers, I'm not sure if I've heard that song, but I've done reactions for The Killers on my Patreon, quite a few, and I always really enjoy whatever I hear by them. So let me know if you've heard Somebody Told Me by The Killers and if you think it's a bad song. The Police, dee doo 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 dee da da da. Not one of my favorite songs. We Are the Champions. That's stupid. That's a great song. Overplayed, yes, but it's a great song. All right, most of these I'm not really familiar with except for two of them. The Rolling Stones' Midnight Rambler. And, Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You. Of course, it's their disco song, but I don't think it's a horrible song. My opinion. Yeah, I'll just, talk about the songs that I do know. Song Sung Blue is a great song by Neil Diamond. I like that. And Bullet with Butterfly Wings, nothing wrong with that song by Smashing Pumpkins. And Scarborough Fair is gorgeous. Great song. At 17, great song. Tell All the People. I don't mind that song at all. From The Soft Parade, the opening track. And Money for Nothing. I don't know. Not one of my favorite songs, but still, it was catchy and deserved to be a hit. In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. That is a great song. I love it. This Is Not a Love Song, Public Image Limited. Great song. Sometimes when we touch, the honest. Take two. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. Yeah, that's not a great song. The Final Countdown, I'm not a fan of. Abracadabra, I could see that being not one of Steve Miller's best songs. I don't know that song by Nico. Magnet and Steel. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I'm not a Meatloaf fan at all. But back in the day, that was a very, very fun, entertaining song. So it's not bad. But You Light Up My Life is. Jack White, Lazaretto. I've never heard that. Is that a bad song? Let me know. The Beatles' Taxman. It's hard to sympathize with a fantastically rich rock star whining about his taxes, winging. So I tracked Beetle George down and confronted him about it. I know it makes me sound like a ingrate, he said, kindly welcome me into his unheated hovel and offering me a bowl of cold, thin gruel. Ugh. I've never heard England's Rose or the other songs. I do kind of remember. I'd like to teach the world to sing. Let's see. Joy to the World. That was a great song. That was a huge hit in the early 70s for a good reason. And Mr. Roboto by Styx. A little annoying, a little cheesy, but still, it's good. It's entertaining. Clean Up Time. Not one of my favorite John Lennon songs, but it's still a very good song from Double Fantasy. It's not bad at all. Oh, I agree with that. We didn't start the fire. And, back in the day, I was a Billy Joel fan, but that song annoyed me right away. I did not like it. Your Mama Don't Dance, that was a great early 70s song, very catchy. Hot Blooded is a great rock song by Foreigner. Trees by Rush, get out of here. Taste of My Love by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I believe that's probably from Love Beach. So, yeah, it probably does suck. We Will Fall, I've heard that. It was kind of a cool track on the debut album by The Stooges. Alice's Restaurant. I had that vinyl record back in the early 70s. It was entertaining. I liked it. I Want You to Want Me. That's a great pop song. James Taylor, Steamroller. Nothing wrong with James Taylor. And I've never heard Dinner and a Movie by Fish. Let me know if that's a bad song. Animal Language. That's on Sally Can't Dance. And I kind of agree at first. The first few times I heard it, it's like, oh, this is a bad song. But it kind of, like, I love all of Sally Can't Dance. And Animal Language is probably my least favorite song, but I like it now. So, The Times They Are A-Changing, that's a classic by Bob Dylan. The National Anthem by Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock, it's great. Haven't heard Machine by Black Flag. Lawyers in Love, that's so-so. Well, this guy's an idiot. Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Which is the better song, Black Sabbath's Iron Man or the Edgar Winter Group's Frankenstein? Iron Man, even though Frankenstein is great. The latter, of course, because it's surprisingly nimble of foot and doesn't clunk around in 54-pound diving boots at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. REO Speedwagon, Time for Me to Fly, haven't heard. I'm Not Lisa, I've never heard. Beds Are Burning, that's a great song by Midnight Oil. Simply Irresistible, that was simply irresistible when it came on the radio. I liked it. Your Body is a Wonderland. I don't know. It was all right. Low Budget, The Kinks. That's a great song. Haven't heard Patti Smith doing, I guess that's Paul Simon's The Boy in the Bubble. Owner of a Lonely Heart. Are you kidding me? Tell me you're joking. I've never really been into the Dave Matthews Band. I'm very fortunate, of course. Hip to Be Square, yeah, that wasn't a great song. Spinning Wheel, that was a great song. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, that is known as one of rock's early classics. It is excellent. Old time rock and roll. I used to always have to play that when I used to disc jockey at dances and everything, and so I got really, really annoyed and tired of it. But still, it's not a bad song. Of course, you have to have Yoko Ono. Amazing the way Yoko manages to chitter away like a chipmunk on speed. I once asked a chipmunk friend of mine what she was saying, and he replied, "How would I know? She's chittering in Japanese." Nice. Yeah, Limp Bizkit, they suck. Old Man is a great song by Neil Young. Muskrat Love. I'd have to hear that again, but Epic by Faith No More, that's a really cool track. I love that. A Groovy Kind of Love by Phil Collins. It's harmless pop fluff. It's not terrible. Thank God I'm a Country Boy. That was very popular. John Denver. It's not a bad song. I'd Love to Change the World by 10 Years After. That's a great song. I'm not too familiar with Dreams by Van Halen. Love is a Battlefield. Nothing wrong with that song. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Great vocals by Bonnie Tyler. American Pie, Madonna. I can see that being kind of bad. Almost, yeah, Hello's okay, right? But Almost Cut My Hair, that is my favorite song from the Crosby, Stills, and Nash era, from their first two albums. That is a great song. Uh, I'm furious. All right. Let's Dance. That's a catchy song by David Bowie. Uh, Not really familiar with anything else. We Are the World. That was fine. I like that. And Valley Girl. Not my favorite Frank Zappa song, but it was a fun song when it came out. With Moon Unit, his daughter. Every breath you take, very, very overplayed, and some people have it as their wedding song. And the song is about a stalker. But still, it's not a bad song by any means. Let 'Em In by Paul McCartney. I love that song. Tears in Heaven. It was written about his son who passed away. It's a very emotional song. Nothing wrong with it. All right. We're getting near the end. Thank God. Yeah, I just called to say I love you. Not Stevie Wonder's best moment, but Under the Bridge. I didn't mind that song. I don't consider it bad. Do you think I'm sexy? It's catchy. It's fun. It's, the disco era. Uh, I prefer early Rod Stewart, of course, but still. Ebony and Ivory. Yeah, I have my. It's like I always wonder when I hear it. Is this bad, or is it so bad it's good, or is it so good it's bad? Or but still, not my favorite Paul McCartney song. And We Built This City. Once again, very cheesy and kind of annoying, but back in the day, it was kind of a catchy song on the radio. And number one, which I already saw, and I'm very upset. Yeah, John Lennon, Imagine. So John Lennon's Imagine is the worst song that this person could think of. Uh, it's almost disgusting for him to have that even on the list. But that's it. I would love your thoughts. Which ones do you disagree with or agree with? Like, yeah, We Are the World. I enjoyed that back in the day. So, yeah, looking forward, hopefully, to some comments below. Please remember to like the video and be sure to subscribe to both of my YouTube channels. Have a great day. Bye.